Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode of the Paddle Talk Podcast. Great to have you along. And remember, new episodes drop weekly on YouTube and monthly on Facebook. So check us out, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Go on to our YouTube page. You can find all of the back episodes, keep caught up on everything that's going on with Paddle Talk and the Paddle Talk Podcast. But great to have you along this week. Can't do without our sponsors. The guys at Racing in the Dirt. Also, Silverback Off-Road Rentals, where you can take yourself out on the Silver Lake sand dunes and drive yourself. Don't have to worry about tagging along with anybody else. And, of course, Silverback Off-Road Speedway, your single choice for great sand drag racing action in the state of Michigan. So, want to big shout out to all three of those. Couldn't do it without them, and thanks a lot. Folks, got a great show for you this week. We have recaps from the Outlaw race at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, as well as Thunder Valley from this past weekend. We have previews of the Weekend of Thunder up at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, as well as the Franklin County Four-Wheelers Big Money Race down in Brookville. We also have some very early previews of a KOI race in Holland. We also have Atoka, Oklahoma, early preview, and Speeders, the Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series, coming to Silverback Off-Road Speedway July 18 through 20. We've got Todd Bylsma coming on. We've got news. We have a great action-packed show. Stay tuned. All coming at you next. Hey everybody, we're going to get this week's show rolling with recaps. We got some race recaps. The Outlaw Sand Drag Series was up at Silverback Off-Road Speedway in Michigan, so they've got a full race recap. Damian Bowers, John Sorg, and K-Dub were all on site. We also have Thunder Valley, the BAD Nationals, and Billy Teeters was on site for that, so we've got recap of that as well. So, gentlemen, let's dive right in. K-Dub, nice that you could make time for us this week.
Oh, you're welcome. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
K-Dub, who's that with you? K-Dub, who's that with you?
Oh, I got the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Rock right here. Pro Performance Prototypes.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Now,
hey.
where's your trophy at, Kyle?
Oh, I forgot my trophy. It's currently in my tent right now. I can't lose that thing.
The question is, did you have another bottle of wine to crack open for your win, or are you saving that for like more important win?
Oh, I had that champagne ready to go, and I cracked it that Friday night. It was it was awesome. It was sucked because I had that in my trailer for about a good 6 months, and I was wondering if I'm ever going to crack it again. And then thank God I finally was able to get that victory Friday. Got the bust that thing wide open.
All right, so John Sorg and Damian Bowers were both on site as well. Before we get into results, Johnny, give us your overview of the weekend. Give us one good, one maybe not so good, and one forgetful.
Well, wow. Where do we start with that? Good. I took second in 4.0 class, so I guess that was good. Forgetful, I got beat by Mooch Bowers again, so I like to forget that. And what was my other one?
Something not so good.
Oh,
Probably losing to
broke
Moose
a
Bowers
starter.
again. Oh, you broke
Oh,
what?
you broke a starter?
yeah. I went to start it, and it flung all the guts out of the starter.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Oh, all right.
Needless to say, I made it to the next round thanks to Travis Dangerman and everybody stepping in while I was helping Doug. So
there you go.
Thanks to all them guys.
All right, cool. All right, so Damian, you were on site. You had a lot of live footage going and stuff like that. What time did you guys get there? Did you get there Thursday or Friday?
We got there Thursday night, Friday morning, about 1 in the morning.
Okay.
Go on.
There we go. Yeah, we got there a decent amount of time, got over to Peels, hooked the trailer up, went to the track, and then got everything to start running on Saturday. Getting my stuff ready to run the 4.0 class, getting Dad ready for the bracket. We were spraying 100 shot in the bracket I sprayed 300, was going to spray 400 in the 4.0 class, but I forgot to turn the nitrous on going to the line against Jim Bailey. Went 018 red, so I still lost, but damn. Then Dad ended up getting down to the final 3, beating John Sorg to get there. Ended up losing to Kyle in the final 3.
Thank you, K-Dub.
And with Kyle winning, I kind of made a bet with him. He has to make it to Brookville to try and chase the points, because now he's up close enough he might be able to sneak off with it if he wins down there. If he doesn't show up, he's got to wear a clown suit on the podcast.
I don't remember taking
I like
that bet, but I think I can. I'll take that bet.
You can't take that back. That's just unacceptable.
And if I don't make it, I'll just pretend like this never happened and then just stop answering my texts.
Just delete your Facebook. You're done shit talking.
The only chance I'd have to win that points championship is if I have like me and my goon squad going after Mooch in the first round to get him knocked out and then try to win that thing. But I think it's doable.
Oh, it's entirely possible, because down at Brookville, everyone's going to be cutting O and 00 lights.
All right. So what all did we have then Friday night?
Damian, are you driving right now?
He is.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why he's so focused.
I was wondering why your arm was up like that for a second.
Well, think about this. He can't squirrel out so easy right now.
Oh, that's true.
I don't have a computer to distract me. I just have traffic too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where you
my
at,
bad.
Damien?
It's just something I noticed. Go ahead, Isaac. I just wanted to.
All right.
That's
So what
fine.
do we have? We had, what was that? Was it 4.0 index?
I got you.
Friday night.
A 4.0 index, a 350 index, and outlaw bracket. Is that right?
Yep, and
Correct.
2 rounds of TE qualifying.
Okay.
All right.
Very
Well,
good.
I got these results right here.
Excellent.
First place, or excuse me, 4.0 index, second place, Mr. John Sorg right here. Sandbagger. First place was Carson.
Well, okay. I feel like that's sandbagging on both sides there, because I feel both those cars are capable of running at least a 10th or more under the index.
Well,
I feel like Carson runs 390s all the time.
Carson slows his car down a little bit differently than I do, so his looks more legit than mine.
But hey, it's all is fair.
All is fair
I'm
in
not,
love and war.
I'm not
brother.
pointing fingers, you know. I mean, there's another notorious sandbagger
I'll
up there
give you
in
a finger.
Michigan. Yeah, I know you weirdo. Okay, but yeah, first place was Carson Combs and 4.0 index defeating John Sorg. 350 index, second place, Terry Wise, making the podium again after I was getting some shit a couple weeks ago. And then first place was Dean Dangermont. Look at that. Look at that, getting it done.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, if Dean keeps on the roll that he's on, he may be the new Mr. 350, and Terry may have to take a back seat.
That's a big title in the Silverback area.
There was a little bit of a mess with the 350 final, though, as well.
How so?
Terry Wise getting the win, and this is from Terry Wise himself as well as the Outlaw Series. He split the money with him and ended up giving Dean the trophy because there were they reran that final and Terry won the rematch. Because when Terry staged in the first running of the final, the car staged, lunged back, and the tree dropped and went red. And when it went red, Dean left.
Okay.
So double foul. First foul was Terry Wise. If John remembers that.
Why did the tree go red?
Because Terry stage fouled.
He went in, and when he went to hit the trans brake or whatever, he went either too far or the car was too shallow, and it red lit him.
Yep.
So they reran it because of that?
Well, they were, yeah.
The drivers wanted to run it just for the fun of it.
All right, well, I understand that. Okay, well, cool. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Dean, as Isaac said, maybe taking the Mr. 350 title, the name away from once was Mr. Terry's. Outlaw bracket, second place, Donovan Lattimore. That was a dude. That dude also drives Terry's car.
Yes.
right?
He is
they
Terry's
were
engine
hot
builder.
Oh, okay.
They were
Terry's.
hot lapping the hell out of that car. Good thing the engine shop's only about an eighth of a mile down the road.
That
There you
transmission was glowing red. They had a leaf blower when we were waiting for our finals. And I said, you can have all the time in the world.
That's
And
awesome.
then
You
he
said
freaked out a little bit when I told him I ran 5.4s. I was like, don't stay in that trans brake too long.
so you said your finals and exactly your finals. Kyle Wiedmar taking the first place win in the Outlaw bracket. Congratulations, Kyle Wiedmar. How'd you feel taking that dub? Is that the first one this year? First win this year?
Yeah, first win this year. This is the first time I actually started feeling good on the tree again. But yeah, it felt pretty good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna remember that when I drop my top 10 list of bracket racers. Here we go. And then Saturday, they had the kids. They had one ATV class, is that right?
Yes.
And then Outlaw Index, which is 450 and faster, is that right?
Yes.
Yep, that is
Yep.
correct.
Okay. All right. And then Sportsman bracket, which is just another open bracket class. And then they also had the King of the Outlaws as well. So Pee-wees, second place, Marshall Monig. First place, Oliver Bennett. Congratulations to those kiddos. Juniors, second place, Camden Combs. First place, Harper Robbins. So shout out to those kids getting it done. And then you got Sportsman bracket, second place, Chris Deal. And first place, Carson Combs. Carson Combs taking the second win of the weekend. Outlaw Index, second place, Dustin Stevens. And then first place going to Anthony Ball. ATV class, second place, Steve Kappa. And first place, Randy Vestula. And then, of course, the one of the most intriguing matchups of the day in the final rounds, King of the Outlaws. Well, do we want to talk about that first before we get into the results?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because that was, I mean, honestly, whenever I hopped on the live and seeing John Trainer was just going rounds, honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? You just keep
I'll say
winning.
this right now. John Trainer and Cody Trice both could have entered the bracket race the way they had their cars set up all day and dialed a 302 and been contenders all day long.
Dude, John Trainer was very impressive with me, dude. I mean, he absolutely killed it. I
It's
mean,
a small block.
Oh, yeah.
none of us.
No,
I
it's a
don't
big block.
That
It is a
one
big
is?
block, John. Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Is it?
It's just a stock block, big block.
Wow.
You mean it's a
Really?
small block now?
Well, it's not a block at all now, probably.
Exactly. That was my point.
But-
So
On that note, the name of the game all weekend was Carnage for everybody.
yeah. So who
Expand
were
on
like our semifinalists for King of the Outlaws?
Doug Van Lett and
Cody Trice
Cody Trice.
no. were the other semifinalists, yeah.
Okay.
Bro taking out Cody and Doug red lighting against John.
Okay. Interesting.
There was a lot of really wild breakages. Landcore not even making the call for first round due to transmission or clutch issues.
Damn Volkswagen.
Austin Bullock winning his first round pass against Darren Smith, but torching the block and the cylinder heads in that new LS combo.
He should have left those things up here and brought him to Holtoff. I saw he was looking for somebody to work on some heads this week.
I seen that too.
He's trying to get him ready for Saturday for the big money bracket race down there at Brookville.
Well, then what else? What else? Go on about the King of the Outlaw. What else?
King of the Outlaws, other carnage that I've seen. Roth unable to get the car to leave. Last race at Texas Mud Drag's car was leaving hard but going left. This weekend it just would not come out of the hole. They dropped the clutch and it just died on the line.
Hey, Sean Roth, if you're still there, can you uh just kind of talk about what Damian was having, the kind of issues the car was having, and then kind of like what the plan is to move forward with that?
Well, yeah, the Texas mud drag race, we were doing some testing and it seemed to be coming out real nice and shooting left real hard, so I had to pedal it, but the motor was running good. I brought it home and changed chassis tune up stuff and brought it back for this weekend and it wouldn't run. I don't know what's going on with it. I must have really messed something up in the grid somewhere and I just have to go through it with a fine tooth comb and try to find what I did. I don't know.
Can
But,
you remind everybody what your engine setup is?
It's a 2900 cc powder motor with autocraft heads.
Okay, so Volkswagen base for those who don't
Yep.
know that.
Yep.
So but yeah,
Turbocharged on methanol.
Yep.
yeah, and the always gorgeous extreme buggy, but yeah, I mean, so issues that could be overcome, right? I mean, when's the next time you plan on having that thing out?
Well, if I can, go through the computer this week while I'm up here and try to figure something out, I plan on running it this next weekend at Silverback. So hopefully, just try to test it with something, try to figure something out. So
For sure. Well, there you go. All right. Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. So
Yeah,
Damien brought
thank
you
you.
up, so I just want to talk to you about that real quick. So,
And also,
Damien, did you even know he was there?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Go
But
on.
yeah,
Okay, go on, Damien.
on the Carnage front, there wasn't too much more on the Carnage front.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Your signal's getting bad there, Damien. Try to get. Oh, he
Look,
got, he
he's
got.
stuck.
He's a little frozen. John, you were there. Kind of pick up where he left off. What did you notice in King of the Outlaws?
I noticed, well, I was with Doug most of the time, so that I noticed he read.
Okay, never mind. We'll move on from you. K-Dub, what did you notice in King of the Outlaws?
Willie Burnsley, he has that big Hemi in that Jeep, and he was trying to jump off the ground and go across lanes. But he finally started getting it squared away, and he ran a 3.37. That was one of the things I noticed about King of the Outlaws. And then I think you guys alluded to it earlier, but the finals where what's his name again? Combs. Combs' motor pretty much grenaded, and he kept it the whole
John
time
Trainer.
trying to win the race. It was awesome.
That was John Trainer.
I'm sorry.
John Trainer, yeah, that was sweet. I will
That
say
was
that.
awesome. I had a video of it, but I was zoomed in too tight. I missed all the carnage in the motor, and I'm still angry at myself.
Another degree.
I noticed Rick Ensing's car was really cool. He got that put back together, brought it back out, but he was unable to slow it down enough to run the index. He went out and ran like a 290 in the first round.
Sean was working on it this week to get it ready.
Yeah.
we did a lot of work on that car, moved the motor back, and Rick changed the blower on it. There's he's working hard on that thing for sure.
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
Tell him good luck. We'll see you in the finals.
From what I noticed about King of the Outlaw from afar, just from viewing it online like I usually do from Silverback races, the really like the top 10 of the qualifying field was pretty damn close from what I seen. It looked fairly competitive. What qualifying number was John Trainer, and was Adam Rowe still number one? I'd never seen a final qualifying list. Adam Rowe ended up as number 4.
Number 1.
Rowe's
Wow.
number 1.
Who was?
Rowe, Adam Rowe.
Damien just said he was number 4.
No way.
No.
Oh, Trainer was number 4. My bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, that man. Wow.
That whole field was super tight, man.
Damien's trying to talk, but he's all frozen and
He froze.
no signal and stuff. Yeah, I know.
And it's
Unfortunately,
hot out.
we'll have to pick his brain on this some other time when he's not frozen. See, he's still frozen. That's fine. But yeah. Anyway, King of the Outlaw results. Second place, as we talked about, John Trainer, probably the most impressive performance of the weekend behind Carson Combs. And then first place was Adam Rowe, King of the Outlaw, doing it again. He's good. He's good at this.
Fire.
He owns the series, is what he does. So
Yeah.
shout out to Adam Rowe getting it done. And yeah. Seemed like a good race overall.
It was.
Seemed that way. Yeah, it seemed like there were a lot of cars Friday night, and
There's a lot of cars there. There was a lot of spectators there, so it was overall. I mean, you walk through the pits, people were roaming about. It was pretty awesome, to be honest.
that's good. Now the big question is, how many people stay the week?
Well, I'm one of them. K-Dub's
John and
one
I
of
are
them.
And then I know a lot of the Ohio guys are doing a racecation, staying here for the week. I think some of them are driving down to Brookville for the big money race, but I know the Ellingtons are here, Trices, the Coles, Craig Gums up here. There's a good amount of people are still up here. Sean was with a bunch of them in the dunes yesterday.
Johnny was there with me and Dave.
Yeah, we all went cruising, went riding around the dunes. I'll have some WSD and TV for that.
Nice. Good deal. All right. Well, it sounds like a good race. It seemed like everything went really well, aside from maybe the whatever happened in the 350 final Friday night, but it sounded like pretty much everything else went off without a hit. So that's really good. And yeah, series finale down in Brookville then. Is that what happens next?
Yep.
Yes.
And is mathematically there any way possible? Well, it's got to be Doug and Adam, right? I mean,
I'm
pretty
sure
much going to
Doug
be
and
one of
Adam.
those two guys. So
That's what it's going to come down to, Doug and Adam.
it seems that way. So,
because I don't know if he's got a 5 or 10 point lead on Doug or somewhere in that vicinity. But
right.
Yeah.
So that ought to be a really good final. And yeah, Damien will have to update us on where the other classes are on the points once we get when we get closer to the finale there. So, all right. Well, let's move on to Thunder Valley. What's that?
Should be coming back into signal here soon.
Well, let's move on to Thunder Valley. Billy was on site. It was a long weekend.
Oh my god!
And what do you got for us?
Well, I'll just you are right. It was a long weekend. They got started later than we wanted to. I don't work there anymore. So I've been trying to stop saying we. I'm trying to say they. I don't work there anymore. I do help out a little bit with whenever the original management is not there, like I did this past weekend. Like helping out some new guys and whatnot. But no, I was on site. There was some interesting things about the weekend, and it was a good weekend for me because we took my bike out there, and that was a little bit of thing that I had in my news part. But I'll say now, our bike ran good. Started off, and my bike's slower than I thought it was. I started off in the 6.2s, made it down to the 5.7s. I'll work with that any day of the week. Shout out Jamie Windsor for helping me out with that shit. And then, but yeah, Thunder Valley Sand Drags. So Friday night, not really a whole lot going on. They had 2 qualifying sessions for top eliminator. We only had 4 cars on the property. The 4 competitive cars nonetheless. Hunter Shelton driving his nitrous powered big block, and then without a wheelie bar. Very every time he goes out there, it's kind of it might be the quickest top eliminator car in the country without a wheelie bar. I think his best pass is a 294, and he didn't have a wheelie bar on it then. So
I would have to agree that is probably the fastest, currently
cool.
fastest car in the country without a bar.
And everybody heard that, confirmed by Damien. So if you get mad
We
at
got
me,
Earl
get
Ledner
mad
up at
at me.
306.
Okay, there you go. The second fastest is 306. So there you go. See, okay. That's the next list. Is a no bar car list.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. Okay. Anyway, before we get down that rabbit hole, then we had 2 turbo cars on the property. Had Terry Glasscock and his turbocharged Pinto chassis. Was built by help me out, John. Buggy Shop in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, Randy Eaton actually built that.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. And then Chad Plummer ended up buying Tim Hatfield's old Potter powered top eliminator car, and he ran that this weekend for the first time. I do not know what his best DT was. I want to say his last pass of the day was his best pass, and I don't know what the ET was. So But I'll start off with this. Terry Glasscock unfortunately suffering a rollover. First time I ever seen it. He's been a literally favorite of mine since I was a kid. I grew up watching him race, and it's the first accident I ever seen him involved with. He just said that he crossed the finish line, and I mean, if you ever seen this car in person run with that Ford Pinto engine in it, that thing is rowdy as hell. It gets crazy, but he tames that thing really well. It's just unfortunate this time that he went to grab the brakes and there was nothing there, and and I guess he just saw the option to roll it, and that's what stopped it. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest thing is that he would have kept racing if the chassis wasn't cracked right behind the roll cage. Engine was fine.
Oh,
Engine's fine. I couldn't believe it. Engine's fine. Like turbo wasn't even touched. The hat was fine. Everything was great. And then as they towed it back to the trailer, they found out that the front end was twisted up as well. And so and this is just what Terry says. Right now he says he's hanging it up. So I think we may not see Terry in another top eliminator car ever again, but he may also be just doing the Kenny Capel. Buy a buggy, throw a small block Chevy in it, go do some bracket racing. And that's fine too,
Hey Billy, did Russ Bailey run this weekend?
He was not there. I was actually going to ask you guys if he was out there. I thank you for bringing that up.
No.
He wasn't? Okay. No, he was not
Nope.
there. As I said, so Russ Bailey's wife, Trisha, who's usually running the tower,
Right.
Trisha was not there because Miss Frida Sig is dealing with some issues. She's at home, and she had to be with her mom, Frida, to make sure everything was okay. But
What about Dennis Burrows?
Dennis was not there. So the four we
Okay.
had was Chad Plummer, Terry Glasscock, Hunter Shelton, and Stephanie Kimbley. Stephanie Kimbley was
Okay.
driving Kevin Cabrick's blown big block
Okay.
car as well. But really, the racing was cool. Hunter Shelton ended up getting winning top eliminator. Chad Plummer getting third. Terry suffered the rollover in the fourth qualifying session, so he was obviously wasn't going to make the first round. Chad Plummer ended up getting third. Stephanie Kimbley got second. Hunter Shelton getting first. Hunter Shelton running a 3:02 to Stephanie's 3:09 in the funnel.
Oh,
So gets it done there. Performance of the weekend though probably has to go to Ava Windsor. And the reason why I said that, she entered in 3 classes and she won all 3. She gets the win in Sport ATV. She beat Cody Gentry, and she got the win in Pro 2 ATV. She beat Riker Ballard, and then she ended up getting the win in Pro 1 ATV, and she beat Brody Hibden. And the interesting thing I just said about all those final rounds, all those kids I just mentioned are 16 years or younger, 16 years old or younger, and they're all racing in the adult classes, and they're all getting it done.
wow.
We're just screwed where we are. This is just children are just going to run rampant with wins, and we're just going to be left sitting there like, well, when can I get a child on mine so my machine can finally win? So, Josh Hibden winning in 2 classes. He got the win in Pro Comp. Craig McNeil getting 3rd place. Travis Epperson getting 2nd place, and Josh Hibden getting the win. Josh Hibden had a legal single in the final Pro Comp. Travis Epperson not able to make the call. He had some sort of breakage of some kind, but if y'all remember, Travis is the guy with the yellow Bronco from Missouri. Very good looking car. He actually had the Bronco out there. He has a new dragster too that he had in Atoka, but he didn't have the dragster out there. He had the Bronco. Craig McNeil running he bought Mark Irons' old Busa powered little buggy. Craig McNeil did, and Craig's been racing that. Josh Hibden was in a Evo Can-Am built, Evo built Can-Am with a 2-step in it, and he was just cutting lights all day. It was just, I'm not gonna lie. You put a 2-step in the Can-Am, it might be the best bracket racing vehicle on the planet. It's just dead on. I mean, Kyle, back me up here. You're in a Razor, right? You got 2-step on yours, or what do you do with yours?
I used to have a 2-step, but I was stupid and I bought the button 2-step, and I should have did it right up the foot brake. I think it would have been awesome.
The foot brake 2-step instead?
Yeah, that way I can just pin it and then have the brake as my 2-step, like go with the brake, and it would actually lock. I didn't like it though because my clutches were always chattering really bad, and then I
Sure.
was just cutting more slides, so I just went back to foot braking it.
Sure.
But I did
yeah,
run pretty good when I was running it.
yeah. I mean, just putting a two-step and a side-by-side in general might just be the best bracket racing vehicle you could ever get.
The
So
only thing that's kind of stupid about it is like my engagement's like 2,600, so I have to have the two-step around it anyway. So what kind of boost am I really making anyway? So it's just going dun 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 dun.
right, almost like a snowmobile.
Ah,
So and then Josh Hibden, the second class he won was the side-by-side class. He beat Bryson Mason in the final. And then excuse me, sport comp, third place was Mackenzie Evans. That is Hunter Shelton's girlfriend, fiance, one of the two. I can't remember. If it's not fiance and just girlfriend, just fix that so I'm not wrong. Second place in the finals of sport comp, actually, I should say this. We had two brothers racing against each other, Jason and Calvin Bird racing against each other. Calvin Bird getting the win. He drives Jeremy Click's old top eliminator chassis, which in turn is the very first dragster chassis that Terry Glasscock ever raced in sand drags, which is actually pretty dope. And then Jason Bird is getting the win in sport comp. He drives a dragster that John Moreland used to race in top eliminator, which before that was Shirley Muldowney's top fuel chassis on the asphalt. So
Really?
yeah, Jason
Whoa.
Bird driving a little piece of history into the winner's circle there. Used to be driven by Shirley Muldowney. So it's actually
Wow.
really cool. I had the opportunity to buy that car, and
Screwed up.
priorities were not there. I actually, you know, John, you know what I did? I bought that little blue piece of shit that you picked up for me. It was like,
Yeah. Oh my
it
God.
was like a leather strap for a seat. Anyway,
That was sketchy.
Are you strapped onto you, not you strap into it?
pretty much, yeah. Look like an Iron Man racing suit. And then Pee-wees and juniors. Second place was Riker Ballard. First place was Cody Gentry. At Thunder Valley, juniors are allowed to race in the adults classes as well. And then Pee-wees, which is 10 years and younger. I should say juniors are 11 to 15 years of age. Pee-wees. Third place was Henry Askew. Second place is Abigail Cook. And first place was Jessa Mansfield. Jessa had to go 6 rounds to get the win in Pee-wees. So,
whoa.
yeah, she got it done. So shout out to Jessa, and shout out to all the winners. And yeah, the Bad Nationals not advertised well, like Cody said last week, but they had a bunch of problems, a bunch of reruns, and you know, they're just missing some usual track staff, some new people and new spots that they never done before, but it got done, and that's all really you could say. My bike still ran better from when the race first started to when it ended, so and it didn't break, so I had a decent time, and I can't wait to go back there July 19th for their next race. And that's all I
Nice.
got from Thunder Valley Sand Drags.
All right. No, that's really good. So really, we had 2 really good races this past weekend, and things are looking good. I mean, summer's kind of, you know, the race season's really starting to maybe kind of find high gear a little bit, find some traction, so to speak, and it's going to be busy these next couple of weeks. So really looking forward to it. So, and that is going to wrap up the recap section of the Paddle Talk podcast. And we are going to move into Todd Bylsma joining us next. And Todd is brought to you this week by Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Do you want to experience the Silver Lake sand dunes in a way you haven't before? Check out Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Whether it's a sunset cruise or just want to go out for picnic lunch or just want to go through the dunes, watching everything, and head out down to the beach. Silverback Off-Road Rentals, your one place to get that accomplished. Call them today as spots fill up fast, but they got great rentals and a way for you to get out on the dunes without having to take your own vehicle. That's Silverback Off-Road Rentals. And now, here's Todd. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Paddle Talk podcast. joined by our special guest, Mr. Todd Bylsma. Great to have him aboard. We're going to talk a little snow hill climb, talk a little Texas mud drags, and then we're going to move on to talk some Pro Truck Elite. Todd, being one of the OG guys for Pro Truck Elite, thought it was really appropriate to bring him on this week while we're talking about the race and upcoming and everything. But Todd, thanks for joining us. Whine Time, the green Jeep. Is there anything else you do that's fast? I mean,
we're building a drag and drive right now, so that kind of took most of my winter. We're supposed to have it done for Drop the Hammer. Unfortunately, we didn't make that. So yeah, we got a little bit more to go with that, and that's another fun event to do.
That is. So I saw, now speaking of which, and I seriously, I had no idea you were doing that, but that's a great topic to bring up. So I saw Larry Larson on a podcast this week, and the question to Larry was, can you really call it a drag and drive if it's only like 500 miles?
Well,
what do you think on that?
Yeah, it all depends on what you build. Now, if I throw my SMX in a drag and drive, we go 500 miles, yeah, you're gonna be wrenching.
Right.
So, yeah, to make it 500 miles with a car that does 200 and some miles an hour and a quarter, that's pretty good. You know, you got Tom Bailey and Steve Morris and Taylor. You know, they're all doing 230, 260 miles an hour and a quarter mile, and then they get in that car and they drive it to the drive-through. So,
I'm always amazed at Bryant Goldstone and Brian
Yep.
Robbins, and those guys seem to work 24/7 when they're on those. I mean, oh my word, that is unbelievable. And I tell you, man, you got to know what you're signing up for, I feel like.
Yeah, so the other weekend when we had the race up there, actually it was probably 3 nights before that, Steve actually called me and asked me if I'd go pilot with him for 6 summer. So that would have been a lot of wrenching. I would have got my feet wet in a real fast hurry.
Yeah.
So I decided to go up to Texas Mud Drags instead, and glad I did it.
That worked out pretty well, I'd say. So, all right. So, 2025 has been pretty good for you so far. Start off with the snow hill climb. You brought the green Jeep, remembered how to run the nitrous bottle, and lo and behold, there you were in the winner's circle again.
Yeah, everybody was, giving me crap. I said, well, we're gonna take the old girl back out, and yeah, she dominated, and it was a great time.
That was really good to watch, and even just and you looked like you were having fun. I mean, that was the biggest thing.
That thing is that's fun to drive. It's like driving a go-kart after you drive the Whine Time, So you can get pretty relaxed in it. So
that's true. And then we move on to Texas Mud Drags, and Whine Time proceeds to hot knife through butter, except for one little hiccup, and still manages. I mean, let's face it, man, you had probably the hardest road to the final of anybody else there, as far as who you had to run.
Yeah, it was tough, especially after my my regulator went bad, and we had to take that loss. Went back to the pits, and yeah, I kind of took a mental edge off me a little bit, but because I was ready to go. But yeah, we come back and I had to work back to the field. Some tough competitors. So
absolutely. Now I got to ask, when you guys came back out, that thing just seemed different. Did you change anything with the tune-up, or was the tune-up the same and it was purely that regulator?
It was just a regulator. No, we didn't touch anything with the tune-up. So
wow,
yeah, and actually,
pretty impressive.
The last 2 passes? So I didn't notice it till we got home Sunday. There was a little puff of smoke there on the trans brake. I don't know if anybody else caught that in the videos or not, but I watched the videos and I went, that don't look good. Nobody said nothing to me. Well, lo and behold, there's 8 empty holes right now.
So just remember, folks, we are recording this on Monday. So as of Monday, Todd has a block, and that's about it.
Yeah, Joe was over here, pulled off from HHP. Steve pulled all kinds of strings. He got me new pistons and rods. They're all there. I actually went and picked him up last night from his place, and we're gonna put the block back together tonight. And I got another little hiccup, so Steve's got me some stuff coming tomorrow. So I should hopefully
Jesus.
tomorrow night we'll get the block back together. So
Oh my word. So what you're saying is, wait, is Joe working on it by himself right now?
no,
Oh.
I work on it. No, he only lives a couple miles from me, so
Oh,
Joe's
that
a real
works out
good.
well.
Yeah,
I was
he's a
gonna
real
say,
good friend of mine. So
we pulled Joe in, on the thing. No, just keep working. We just, you just talk. That's it.
no, so we were
Oh, that's
hoping to have
awesome.
it back together tonight, but unfortunately, hopefully tomorrow night we'll get it back together.
Nice. So you guys are coming loaded for Bear then for Pro Truck Elite Friday night.
That's my goal. Yes.
All right. I'm looking forward to it because Jason Benson says basically my cold dead hands that he wants to be the first 3-time Pro Truck Elite guy. And you're one of those guys that's got a really good shot at taking that away from him. And the $250 for being the first Pro Truck Elite guy to run a 290 anything. There's a lot of incentive out there.
Yeah, the track's as good as it was. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Really?
So,
wow.
We've made some, the changes we made over the winter with it. It's working right now. So
I would agree. Those last 2 passes at Texas Mud Drags, that thing just looked different than it did the rest of the weekend, and in a good way. So I think you're right on there, and it'll be interesting to see who comes with what, so to speak. My message to Michael McCord about if the square body's coming or not, just FYI, it's been read, it just hasn't been replied to. It is Monday, so he's got plenty of time, but I'm waiting patiently to see what happens with that either. So we'll see what happens once.
So, and I don't have Facebook. My wife does, so I don't see hardly anything unless somebody tells me about it. So I'm one of them diehards yet they don't have it. So
you know what though? That may not be the worst thing in the world either.
Things stay a little more private with me than that. So it's kind of a good thing, but I miss out on a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. So, it happens that way. So, all right. So, Pro Truck Elite Friday night. You guys come in, make a couple hits during test and tune, and then get after it. If you could do a call out, I'll put you on the spot. If you could do a call out, who would your first round person be?
Oh man, it depends on who's going to be there. I haven't seen a list of anybody that's going to be there yet.
Let's just go with the usual suspects.
Oh man, I don't know. I'd like to run Earl again.
Oh, I like it.
Earl's
going to be there.
Earl's got it going, so I'm good guy, and yeah. So
I would like to see that race. In 300 foot.
I would very much
like to
like
see
to
that
see
300
that
foot race. I would.
Yeah, very much so, man. And that's right. And there's the beauty of Pro Truck Elite with the chip draw. You don't know what you're going to get. You could get that matchup in the first round just as easy as you could get. I mean, let's face it. Well, there's not many ducks at this point. So there used to be, but maybe not so much anymore. There's not a lot of, we got this covered, type of trucks anymore. So I think it's going to be a heck of a class Friday night. And, with adding 2 other, so they've added 2 other heads up truck classes just for kind of some of the slower guys, a lot like what Hayfield, what Matt kind of put together for a format there. So I think it could be an awesome, awesome Friday night. 3 heads up pro truck classes, World Sand Drag News, Holtoff High Performance, and Joe Tony's transmissions, high gear transmissions put together with a little special surprise as well for Friday night. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll catch that live if I can get somebody to run the live feed while we're giving stuff out at the end of the night. So the weather's looking good. Not going to be super hot. Not going to be. I think I would agree. I think if the track is in good shape, it could be a heck of a Friday night. So
hopefully they put some water down.
Hopefully they put some water down. Brett Benoit, if you're watching this on Thursday, Todd wants some water down. So make it happen. You're the man that can turn the sprinklers on from wherever. So let's get it done.
There you go.
All right. Hey, anybody, you talk about some of your guys, but anybody else you want to mention while you're on here that's helping that thing, Whine Time stay on track, and even the Green Jeep for that matter, too?
Well, you guys, I mean, everybody knows I can't run that thing by myself. I mean, if anybody thinks they can run something like that by themselves, they don't have one. I got to give special thanks to Justin Kennedy, his brother Dylan Kennedy. Dylan's there. Joe Holtoff, Randy Heima. Them guys usually come over about every Wednesday. We have like Wednesday night here at the house, so Wednesday nights everybody come over, and then we work on whatever we got to work on. And without them guys, it wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. So
I love it, man. I mean, you 2025 has been your year so far. I mean, let's face it, from Steve Morris pulling the whole shot in your Jeep in the side yard of his place. I mean, it's like, what did I just see here? Stuff like that. It has been fantastic.
Yeah, that was a pretty good little gimmick we had there. And it was the first one to do a wheelie on his hub dyno. That was a great feeling too. It was pretty cool. That put a smile on his face. So.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta give him special
it.
thanks too. I mean, every time I need parts, he pulls through. I mean, it's, over the top to get me whatever I need. So, I mean, he's a great guy. So.
Absolutely. Steve been involved in sand drag racing for a long time. Gary Goldenbisky's Bronco, old stroker small block Ford, and that thing came out of Steve's shop when it was over by Gary's house. And Steve's been, whether people knew it or not, Steve's had his fingers in sand drag racing for a long, long time. So shout out to Steve and
Yeah, Gary and Steve known each other for a long time.
Absolutely. So that is for sure. So, well, hey, Todd, we appreciate you coming on. We'll have to, I mean, let's just face it. If you win Friday night, you may have to be a regular guest on here. I mean,
let's just hope I make it Friday night.
At this point, yes. Let's shoot for that you'll be on the property by Friday. Hopefully, when I do my pit tour Friday afternoon, Todd's here just like he said he was going to be.
So
that'd be a good start.
Yeah, that is my goal. We have not given up, so we're trying.
Love it, man. Well, hey, we'll see you on Friday, hopefully, and best of luck throughout the week. And can't wait for Friday night.
Sounds good. I'll see you there.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you again. Billy or K-Dub, though, you got anything for Todd before we let him go?
Hey Todd, your Jeep's awesome. Runs 103 mile an hour and 200 foot. That's sweet. But I'd have on a good authority. Earl's getting ready for you next Friday. So I hope you're ready.
Oh, perfect. Earl's a great guy. I like Earl. So he's actually got that thing running good.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I mean, this is the longest he's raced with no issues, knock on wood. I mean, it's awesome seeing he's actually having success with that truck. So
yeah, they have their hands full. But yeah, last year they had their hands full. So I'm glad to see it's running good for him. So.
Well, hey Todd, I actually do have a question for you. You've been really successful with the setup you have right now. It's been really incredible what you've done with the car and the numbers you put up. It's really impressive. Is there anything you look at the setup that you could see that you could still improve to make you possibly even go faster in what you've done so far?
Well, we haven't even played with my lockup on my converter yet. So that's our next biggest step is to get the lockup to start working. So I think that's really going to add a lot to it.
Does that
the
change?
chassis wise? I really can't do a whole lot more with the chassis. I have to lower it. I mean, at that point, we'll probably have to start all over. So, it's at, yeah, maybe some shock. We got to do some shock tuning. We're a little gray in that area. So, and that you start talking them tenths and the hundreds. I mean, shock tuning's huge in that. So,
Sure.
So
For sure. I was going to ask if that changes suspension tuning with messing with the converter and whatnot. Damien, say what you got to say, then ask him your question.
I was going to state on the note of that chassis, the guy who built that chassis originally has a couple of lower slung Jeep chassis that never got used.
I know Art. I know Dave. Yep, Art and Dave. Yep, Dave Crawford. Actually, I was offered Art's chassis already by Dave. Right?
I think that'd be a killer one to go with.
Yeah. So Dave and Art, yeah, Dave's a great guy. You know, I was glad to
Oh yeah.
be able to meet Art before he passed away, and yeah. So yeah.
Any other races you plan to hit outside of like the Texas Mud Drags Pro Truck Elite this year and the Hayfield Shootout?
I really wanted to be. I still wanted to be there at the Outlaw race last weekend. I mean, that was my goal to be up there Friday, and unfortunately, we got into what we got into, and I couldn't make that. So I hopefully to hit a couple more Outlaw races would be cool. I want to do some
Well,
of the 295 stuff. So
we definitely have one coming up in September down at Brookville, Indiana.
yep.
Todd,
So,
are you guys, I know Jason Vanderwall said that they are for sure going to West Virginia. Is that on your schedule as well?
yeah, we already committed to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to hit all of them.
Woo!
So
Nice.
tentatively,
Gonna have
yeah, we're gonna try.
I like to
Gonna
see
have to
that thing
update us
on
on that
that.
news.
No, that dirt down there in Missouri. That's a heck of a track. That
Hey, I'm a little skeptical about what we got going on, and the next one coming up over in where's the next one? It's in
Maniac Mountain in West Virginia.
yeah, West
Yeah.
Virginia. I tried to Google that track, tried to see it. I don't know what it's like. So
I've found
if
videos
you
from a couple years ago on Hillbilly Proud, but they have apparently they are going through wholesale changes on the racing track.
yeah,
gotcha.
we had RJ Hefner and David French on here. When was that? Sometime in May. And then they
About a
were
month
talking about
too.
all the changes they've done on the track and everything else. So yeah, I think you guys are gonna. I mean, I also have not been there personally, but from what they said, and those guys seem to know what they're talking about. I would say that track, I think it's gonna be pretty decent. So
Perfect. Yeah, I just wait. Shut down on the width wise. Is the biggest
yeah.
thing. So
Yep. No,
but
exactly. So good deal. All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for Todd. Again, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. And hey, you know what? I mean, if things go well, Pro Truck Elite, and maybe after Texas Mud Drags, we'll have you on again for sure. So,
sounds good.
all right, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you,
All
Todd.
right. Thanks, guys. Yep.
All right, we just got done with Todd Bylsma. Thank you, Todd, for joining the show. Todd was brought to you by RacingInTheDirt.com. Racing in the Dirt is just one mission. That's to help their customers compete at their very best. With over 40 years of motorsports competition experience, they know what it takes to maintain that competitive edge, and they're equipped to keep you there with on-site welding and fabrication, incredible selection of parts, experienced and helpful staff as well. They have quality brands, and they have, like I said, over 40 years of motorsports experience. They have tires and wheels, and they cut them in-house, which is really cool about that. Plenty of products, wheel adapters, hub kits, brake hub kits, brake and hub components, suspension parts, air filters, knuckles, axles and parts, chain drives and drive lines, limiter straps, parachute setups, side-by-side and UTV parts. They even have Racing in the Dirt apparel as well. I know I got a Racing in the Dirt shirt. You seen Todd just wearing one when we were just talking to him. I know Isaac has one. And they also they can do full builds, and they build chassis as well. Do it yourself wheelie bar kits. They can do it all. So get a hold of Scott and Shane, the crew of Racing in the Dirt, at 920-693-2000. That's 920-693-2000. You can also email them at Shane. That's SHANE, Shane at racinginthedirt.com. Check out their website, racinginthedirt.com, and then check out their social medias on Facebook and Instagram as well, where you can see all their builds that they do for customers. They just built an awesome Blazer for Jim Bailey in Michigan. Looks rad. And yeah, racinginthedirt.com. Check out their website. Big supporter of the podcast. We appreciate them very much. And now here is our news segment of the Paddle Talk podcast.
Hey everyone, moving on to our next segment. It's time for news and views. We have some news and some viewpoints from across sand drag racing. A lot of talking about races coming up and that sort of thing. So we'll jump right into it. K-Dub, what do you got for us?
I got some breaking news from Michigan.
Ooh.
A Nitro Top Fuel dragster is being put together to try to challenge for the track record, per my sources from Saturday night. I did a little sleuthing, and I got it on good authority. A car is being put together.
Oh,
Breaking
I
news
like this.
right here.
I
Whoa.
like this. This is great. A nitro car, top fuel.
Nitro car, Top Fuel. coming to
Where is
Michigan.
Sorg when we need him?
Sean's right here. Sean's with me with my source.
I heard it too. It's
All
it's
right,
true.
now hold on. Just because I'm going to ask this, not because I'm being disrespectful, but I feel this is something people needed to go. How deep in the cooler was this conversation when this statement was made? Because I've also heard certain other older blown alcohol guys talk about passes they ran, and as it got further into the cooler, the pass got quicker over the night. So I'm just saying we need some context here.
The person I got the information from had no beer or alcohol in them at the time, but judging by the person, maybe they did. I don't know, but I don't think they had any alcohol. I had 2 beers and Sean had one over on Light, which he did not like.
Did it taste like a candle?
It tasted like Coors Light with an orange in it.
Oh boy. All right. So was this person the owner / anything to do with the car, or
Related?
Okay, fair enough. That works. I like it. Blown and injected, or just injected, or unknown at this point?
I'm going to quote this person. They're coming to beat the record and make sure no one could ever take it back from them. And then all the motor, I heard nitro motor. That's all I heard. And I'm not playing 20 questions. I can't give up my
that's fine.
Why? We just tell us a name. That's all we want to know. Is just a simple.
No, I kind of like not having a name. This is I like not having a name. This is good.
What if we guess the name? If we guess the name, will you tell us?
Maybe,
I
or maybe I'll just hang up
good
really quick.
idea on this.
Jim Bailey.
No, not Bailey.
Doug Millett. No, wait, he already has it.
Doug
Rick
already has the
Insing.
record.
Rick
I think if
Insing.
you guys think about it, you can kind of think of who it is, but that's all I'm going to say for that. And I just kind of stumbled into this information. But
I'm going to keep
you guys
guessing
wanted
the wrong
news?
person.
That's the news I had.
I'm going to keep guessing the wrong person.
News.
Is it Tony McWethy?
Tony McWethy, they got a Top Fuel funny. I'm not Top Fuel. They got an alcohol funny car. Every time they put together, it blows up 2 passes in and then goes right back in the garage for 10 years. That thing's probably going to surface at some point. I might hit the fund it one day for it to come out. But at the time, who knows if the chassis is good or not, if the 3-wheel drive is going to work or not. But not Tony McWethy. Well, anyway, we can move on to news. Hey, Sean, you got any news?
Is it Randy Vestula?
It's not Randy Vestula.
Okay.
Good guess.
Speaking of Vestula, what bike was he riding this past weekend?
He was racing. He bought a 2-cylinder snowmobile bike from the Bennett's. So he was racing.
Sean, what did it run?
I think he was running. I think a 409 maybe.
No,
it was running pretty good. It was
I was
running
408 on that bike, so he's slow.
It was running good for him though. He was going around and did a good job on it.
That thing is a bracket killer, I gotta say.
It is. Yep.
I mean, you talk about old man bike. I mean, they're not wrong. It's got reverse. I mean, what more could you ask?
The reverse is awesome.
It's not right, but
Sean, do you have any news? Was that your news? Whose was that? Was that just Isaac's question? Sean, what's your news? You got anything?
I don't think I have anything right now.
Oh God!
Oh, I got some news for Sean. Sean may potentially be racing a new car in August as a fill-in driver. He's still undecided right now, I believe.
Expand on that. Expand on that, Sean.
Oh man, you guys are gonna make me get into it.
Now this guy might have been in the cooler, so
Yeah.
Is it the same guy who's going to take the track record?
It is
Oh,
not.
different guy.
It is not. Doug Vinlett has another car that is coming out soon, and he mentioned something about, he offered me a driving position in it, but I don't know. I'm still strong with the VWs. I got to hold out on it. I got
No,
to hold out on my own
you should
car.
totally do it.
Wait a minute. Okay. Well, what about the other chassis though?
That is the other chassis.
Yeah, I know,
Wait.
but the other chassis.
What
The
chassis?
other chassis is gonna make a debut. I think 26. I think.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah,
like
there's parts are being collected for that right now.
Nice. Okay. Very good. Very good. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be good. Is there is the original chassis, we'll say, is there a body plan for that or unknown at this point?
I believe the body's gonna stay the same.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Is the body moving? What's going to be on the new one?
Just sheet metal panels, as far as I know for now.
Oh.
Nothing. I don't think there's going to be a body put on that one. Just sheet metal panels.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. That works. All right. Hey, we've learned a lot in like 2 things of news right
Yeah,
here.
this is a great news segment so far.
I was going to say, this is
great
pretty
job.
good news.
Great job, K-Dub.
Nice job, K-Dub. Way to bring in the guest news source too. Impressive. All right. Billy, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, I got a few things. First and foremost, and this is, we record early in the week. So whenever stuff happens later on in the week, we have no idea until it happens. And then we have to talk about it the Monday after. So like we record on Mondays and then stuff happens during the week and then we have to talk about it the Monday after. And then one of the most tragic things that happened during the past week was that we lost Larry Minor. And he was just such a legend in the sport of drag racing, sand drag racing, and just off-road racing in general. And many people really touched by this man. Cruz Predagon started driving for him, how he started his NHRA career. Larry Minor Motorsports, how he built those Jeeps, how they are famous and they're just the coolest Jeeps out there now. Caleb made this post on World Sand Drag News whenever we found out. We were saddened to hear the passing of a legend as Larry Minor is no longer with us. From drag racing in sand and asphalt to battling the harsh terrain of Baja to building his iconic Larry Minor Motorsports Jeeps, he excelled in every sport he ventured into. Larry leaves a legacy behind far greater than we can express in a post. We hope Larry is tinkering on his next machine in the great garage in the sky. Race in peace, Larry. I mean, Damien said, or not Damien, Caleb said it right there. And there's a picture of him sand drag racing, and it's a Jeep with like half a roll cage, and just like it looks like the biggest blower you could probably get at the time, just on the front of it. And it's just, it's what Larry Minor was, and it sucks to hear about the passing of a legend, so I'm sure more people than just the guys in the West Coast were impacted by that. But yeah, we lost Larry Minor. Rest in peace, Larry Minor. His sons Chris and Josh are still racing to this day, and they probably won't stop, and that family's going to keep racing forever, and probably Larry's name too. So race in peace, Larry Minor.
Well said, my man.
Another bit of news I had was that I alluded to it earlier in the recaps, but our bike is running better than it was. We started running like 620s, and then I remember John telling me to clean it out with a burnout, as Matt Ewing, like Isaac would know. Matt Ewing would like to do a burnout to clean out the snowmobile. Are you going to do that with your snowmobile? You're going to do burnouts to clean it out?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. And so when I cleaned it out, I picked up a half second by doing that, by doing the burnouts. So it worked out. I got faster with it. The bike was much slower than I anticipated. Best pass on Saturday was a 573, but We're gonna work through it. We're gonna get better. It's a pig of a chassis, which we may look to upgrade in the winter. And the clutching could use some work too. That's a snowmobile, so we'll get to that as well. I gotta give a big shout out to Jamie Windsor because he's helped me out with that. I don't know if you guys figured out. I don't know shit about snowmobiles, so Jamie really stepped in and helped me out, and I appreciate him a lot for that. And then the really final thing I had was that did you all see this go-kart thing in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And if you have not seen it, I'm going to put it in our World Sand Drag News group chat, so at least the people who are panel here can see it. But you can go to Sand Drag Media on their Facebook page, Puerto Rico based Sand Drag Media site, and they have the coolest. It's I don't even know what it's powered by, but it's awesome, and I love it. I don't even know what the ET is either, but that's that was mine. Is that go-kart is awesome. And that's all my news that I had.
All right. Damian Bowers, you're still driving down the road, but you made it home safely from Michigan. So you made a complete round trip without anything happening.
Almost.
Almost?
Fingers crossed, I'm almost. About an hour left.
Wait, from work?
Do what?
You got an hour to go yet to get home from work?
No, to get home from Michigan. I didn't leave till this morning.
Oh. You know, a little vacay?
Just a little one.
A little one.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. All right. No wonder you've been driving for so long. I was like, dude, how long do you drive to work? I thought you were just on the way home.
I clock out at 1 when I work. I'm usually at home when we're doing this.
Well, exactly. Hence my confusion there, my good man. But anyway, all right. Any news you could share from this past weekend? Because you seem to collect news like other people collect other oddities.
I've heard a few rumors over the weekend. Talked with Bob Pianti driving the dragster of Jim Brumbaugh, getting a new personal best for that car out of it, a 309 on Saturday at the Outlaw Series race with a blown small block. And Pianti says his new Sand Funny car is almost ready.
Oh boy.
I don't know what all to that extent it's going to be, if it's going to be just another altered with a blower motor, if he's going to have a body on it, what. But if Bob Pianti's behind it, it's probably going to be a pretty wild ride.
I would think so.
Then something I've seen over the last week, this isn't just from the local areas, this is some world news I was seeing. Cesar Cordero is trying to set up a race in Puerto Rico for the Turbo Street cars to run against the 4 and 6 cylinders from the Middle East.
Oh my word!
You said the 4 and 6 cylinders from the Middle East. You're frozen up, so it kind of cut out whenever you said that. You said the Turbo Street. Caesar's trying to set up a race with the Turbo Street guys to race against the Middle East guys, 4 and 6 cylinder guys.
Yes.
I said the word guys way too much there, but yeah, I think people understood that.
But yeah, that is correct. That was the gist I got from seeing Caesar's post. He was asking the Turbo Street guys if they would be willing to race against those cars.
Wow, that would be something, I gotta say.
Would it be
yes,
competitive?
It would.
Would it be competitive?
Depends how A to B either class goes.
That makes sense.
Because you also got to remember, the cars from the Middle East have never actually ran heads-up competition. They run single-timed runs.
That's
true.
Like
MRA stuff out there.
Yeah.
Except to 300 feet.
Interesting. That is some good news.
Very.
Interesting news, if nothing else. So, all right. Okay.
Very.
That is good. Okay. So, we'll move on to my news. And my news is Billy's going to drop the flyer right here. And my news is that KOI is going to be racing July 26th in my hometown of Holland, Michigan. It's going to be a KOI race Saturday night at our county fair. $20 entry fee for the truck classes and $10 fee for all the ATV classes. We've had Lewis on here before, talked about the classes, how many classes they have. This could be a really good race, and everything's 100% payback. So you don't have to worry about, what the payback percentage is going to be or anything else. It's flat out 100%. So whatever the class takes in, the class is paying back out. That's just how it works out. But yeah, if you're interested, like I said, we're going to have a flyer up. We'll obviously have more news about this in the coming weeks as we get really closer to it, but should be a great, if you want to do, put it this way, if you want to do some heads up racing and it's not going to cost you a ton, this is a real easy way to do it. Let's face it. I mean, that's about as cheap as you get. $20 entry fee into a class, and you're guaranteed at least 2 passes because it's double elimination. That's not half bad. I
would do that if that was closer. I would do that.
Yeah. I talked to the guy from the fair actually today. They've not decided if they're going to do 150 or 200 foot yet, but it's not going to be on the horse track either. So it's not going to be on the hard pack. It's actually going to be on a track that hopefully we can get a hold of a little bit. And I have also heard that there might be a couple top alcohol cars going to make some exhibition passes during the evening. So
really?
That could get really
tell about
interesting.
that. Do tell. What do you got?
Yes.
Look forward to the John Force burnout video.
Right?
I need to see that. Are they going to prep the track finally for those guys, or is it going to be like, yeah, they're going first and everyone else is fucked?
I don't know what. I honestly don't know what the plan is there. So there has been talk about trying to bring in a do-all. So I don't know if that means there's going to be some track prep, during the night. That's not usually KOI style, but we'll see what happens. So lots of questions, maybe not as many answers at this point, but the race is going to happen, and that's the big thing. So that's my bit of news for this week. So, and with that, we're going to wrap up the news segment of the Paddle Talk podcast.
All right, before we wrap up the show with some previews, this episode of Paddle Talk is brought to you by Silverback Offroad Speedway, and they have a big race coming up August 1st through the 3rd. It is the Fallen Legends Showdown, where they will commemorate some fallen legends of the sport of sand drag racing, and they got some money up for grabs at this race as well, and they're commemorating some fallen legends in each class, and I'll list those for you right now. Silverback Off-Road Speedway will have over $6,000 in cash and prizes at the Fallen Legends Showdown August 1st and 2nd. And they have just a few weeks to go before they get to battle it out, and 100% payouts in all classes and added money to the following classes and the legends to each class will honor. And the top eliminator 295 index, they have $1,500 in added money. In the Pro Index 325 index, they're going to commemorate Bob Reitman, and they have $750 added money. Quick 16, they're going to commemorate Bob Cameron. They have $500 added money. And then the Pro ATV class, they'll commemorate Steph Taylor, $500 added money in that class. The ATV class will be commemorated for Matt Smith Sr. for $500 added money as well. The Pro Truck class, Brian Harrison will be commemorated in that class, and $500 added to that class. John Schultz will be commemorated in the Open Mod class, and there's $500 added to that as well. Larry Wagner will be commemorated in the 4-cylinder class, and that is $500 added to that. And Jesse McComb is being commemorated in the Quick 8 ATV class, and they also have comp and pro comp classes. So over $6,000 in cash and prizes at the Fallen Legends Showdown, August 1st and 2nd at Silverback Off-Road Speedway. And we will be on site for that race, and that will be very exciting to be at. And we can't wait for that one as well. So, and now here's our previews to wrap up the show.
We've reached that point in the Paddle Talk podcast. It's time to preview some racing. We have Atoka coming up. We have Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series, or Speeders for those of you keeping track at home, coming up at Silverback Off-Road Speedway. We also have, because it's this week, July 5 is the Franklin County Four-Wheelers Big Money Race down in Brookville. But we're going to kick it off with my home track at Silverback Off-Road Speedway and the Weekend of Thunder this weekend. So, Billy, how much do you wish you were going to be here after talking to Todd Bylsma?
I'm excited for you guys. I wish I could be there. And it's just, I think I went up there for one of the pro truck races one time with my wife, and we had just an absolute blast. And I'm excited for you guys. I know this is, it was a pro truck titled race, but I'm still calling it pro truck race. I just won't add the last name to it. It's just, so this pro truck race, I'm excited for you guys, especially with how you're doing it on Friday night. I think it's going to be more exciting, and I'm excited for all the racing that's going to be had, especially when you got these trucks lined up in like equal classes that are going to make some exciting heads-up racing. I'm excited for everybody, really.
No, I agree. For those of you that are watching this later on in the week and stuff, it is 3 heads-up truck classes on Friday night. You've got Pro Truck Elite, fastest 8 trucks on the property, duking it out. You've got the $250 bounty currently on a 290-something pass hanging out there. I mean, lots of, and it could very well come down to how you draw in the chip draw to set the ladder when that gets broken or who has a chance at setting that. It could happen to the first pair or 2 pair.
So it's chip draw every round. I remember you said something about it last week, but I couldn't remember.
It's chip draw to set the ladder.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yep.
I like it.
So chip draw to set the ladder. And then you've got 2 more heads-up truck classes, basically the next 2 groups of 8, very much like the Hayfield Shootout. If you've ever been to that, kind of how they divide their classes up is how these next 2 classes are going to be broken up. Then we also have the 350 Index class, which is always a good class at the Weekend of Thunder. You've got an open bracket class, and then you also have a 295 2 qualifiers for a 295 this weekend. So could very easily see some 295 cars hang around and take a stab. I think that's some guaranteed money, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Could we possibly see some Pro Truck Elite trucks in Top Eliminator also?
I think there's a definite possibility and probability for that. Damian Bowers, you're thinking like 4 trucks? I think you're probably...
I'd say 3.
Name them. Who?
I would say Bylsma, Earl Lettner, Jason Benson.
And this is what
honestly,
we're talking about for extra passes, right? They're actually going to race for real in Top Eliminator, right?
I would believe so.
Because Earl just ran this past weekend, got a best of a 310 at the race this past weekend with the Outlaw Sand Drag Series. So hopefully there's a bit more moisture in the track this coming weekend. All 3 of them are highly capable of getting to the 2s if they can get down the track.
Absolutely. No, I would agree with that. I think there's a real possibility Benson and Bylsma can go 290 something right off the trailer if the track is right. And it may come down to, honestly, what it may come down to is if it doesn't happen in the early rounds, it may come down to who can make it to the final, because chances are pretty good the track is better as the night goes on.
Yeah.
Looking at the weather and stuff, as it starts to cool off, some of that moisture comes up. Very could happen in that semifinal or final rounds of that class.
You get to after dark. I see that being where it's set. It's going to have to be after dark on that surface.
Yep. No, I would agree. So, and then, like I said, 350 and an open bracket could be a big Friday night. And then Saturday, the juniors, peewees, you've got pro ATV comp, the regular ATV class, pro truck, open mod, and then the Top Eliminator class. So, you've got a lot of racing on Saturday yet. Should be a really nice full weekend. The weather is looking fantastic. And I think it could be a really good weekend here at Silverback Off-Road Speedway. So looking forward to it.
Did you talk about the added money for Friday nights, the 3 truck classes?
I didn't talk specifically about that, but we can. So Pro Truck Elite is all 3 of the Pro Truck or the heads-up truck classes are 100% payback. Pro Truck Elite has an added $1,500 their payout. The Pro Mod Truck Elite, which is the next 8 qualifiers, has $1,000 added. And the Super Truck Elite, which is the 3rd class, that one has an additional $500 added, plus the 100% payback from the class. So, I mean, there's some really good money up for grabs Friday night. Especially if you run truck, and you can run little heads up. And if you want to run heads up, this is a perfect chance to do it too, right? I mean, you can do a lot of racing Friday night.
Absolutely. That's what it sounds like. The whole weekend you can do a whole bunch of racing and classes for everybody. But those heads up truck classes on Friday night are going to be the show, and it's going to be very exciting to watch. I'm excited for you guys already.
Absolutely. No, I'm really hoping that we can do a lot of live and keep everybody informed out there. We'll do our best, and really appreciate everybody's support there. Big shout out again, Joe Tony's High Gear Transmissions and Holtoff High Performance. Can't stress enough, folks. Invest in people that invest in our sport. These two guys have shown a willingness to get behind it, to put money out there to be won, and to really inspire people and really get after it, and make these trucks, make them run hard. And hats off to them. Really appreciate it. And we'll keep plugging them as we can as well. But again, support the people that support the sport, because that's how our sport grows and continues. So, all right. On the topic of a lot of racing, Damian Bowers, is the Jeep ready for the big money race at Brookville?
Yes. One
Okay.
step closer to changing it back to our normal setup, already done after a little bit of carnage first round up at Michigan. Had to put the 300 gear back in it between first round of the bracket and the first round of 450 index. Thanks to Anthony Ball, thanks to Jason, Jared, Job, thanks to Willie Bursley and his family. They all stepped up and helped us, and we were able to get the brakes, the axles, and the gears off all back in under 20 minutes.
Fantastic.
At the track.
Always good to have some help from your friends and the locals. So, all right, give us the deets on the Franklin County big money race.
All right. So far, still no news on any purse increases. Unfortunately, I know it's better if you advertise them ahead of time, but sometimes you don't know if you're going to have those funds at the time of the race. But still, $100 entry fee, 100% payback, generally over 60 to 70 cars. The first one had 90 cars, so who knows how many we'll get. Probably looking at some out of towners from the Lisbon area, from a few from Missouri. I know Leighton Mallow most likely will be there with the Desperado Alder. Chip draws every round to pick the ladder for the next round. Every 8th pair is a grade, so by your draw order, you know how deep in the grade you are. After the first round, they are doing a $50 buy-in for all the first round losers that want it. Second chance race with 100% payback as well.
See, and I love that. I love the second chance race. I mean, that is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That is cool and very similar to a lot of the stuff that happens on the asphalt. So,
right, we're gonna see the likes of, and there's so many big hitters that come to this race, not just the locals that are all so many big hitters in the bracket scene down here. You got the Mergenthals, Trent Sampson, myself, Austin Bullock's currently thrashing to try and make it to that race. The Cole boys, you name it, they're probably going to be there trying to make that money. Leighton Mallow, a former winner, Cameron Krug and his girlfriend Zora Waters Peters, they have been there for each one of them, and Cameron has won one himself. Jason Job, a former winner of the very first one of those races. Unfortunately, John Sorg making the call to go to Michigan, understandable. No guaranteed extra money and a big local race, and he's chasing the points. So, hey, look, John looking for that big year-end payout guaranteed.
Fair enough. And to be fair, if you wanted to run Friday night, Brookville is totally makeable if you leave on time Saturday morning.
Definitely.
So there's some guys looking to run heads up, yet Friday night. that's a very easy one to
Track.
do yet.
Oh yeah.
So
And it's always great racing. Hell, this past weekend in Michigan, I did recall this. There was a race with a margin of victory it went out 5-0.
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. That's something I've never seen.
That is impressive. So awesome. Well, good deal. Is there juniors and everything at this race as well, or just adults?
I would have to double check the flyer as I don't have it right offhand. Usually this race, with the knowledge of all the extra cars taking it, and then Mother Nature sometimes being a pain, and the nature of timing systems in dirt moving however the hell they want and causing issues, they tend not to run the juniors just in case, to make sure they get the full show in one night.
Sure, understandable. So, all right. Well, hey, if you're looking for a place and you're not going to be in Michigan, that's a really good place to be on Saturday as well. So, Billy, let's talk upcoming Atoka.
Let's go speeders first.
Okay, I'm down for that too. So
speeders at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, July 18th through the 20th. And Dave Applegate runs this series, the Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series. They are looking to have a great year this year. They already had this will actually be Dave's first race of the year for the series. They had to cancel their first race at Little Sandy because Little Sandy was put up for sale. And then we got rained out at Shelton's Dirt Drags, but Dave's looking to have a great race. He's got a bunch of prizes and cash to hand out this race as well. We'll have him on probably back next week to talk about this a little more. And Dave got classes for everybody. People think this is just a side-by-side series. It's not. It's not just a side-by-side new TV series. It's for everybody. It's for full-size vehicles. And by full size, because when you go to his website, you go to everything, it says full size. When he says full size, that is Jeeps, trucks, buggies, dragsters, everything when it comes to a car and drag racing. That's what he means by full size. And then side by sides, that's self-explanatory. ATV, self-explanatory. He's got classes for everybody. I'm gonna list them right now. 295 index, which is for full size and side by sides. Imagine a side by side fast enough to race in top eliminator, which is basically what the 295 index is. That would be insane. And I mean, there might be a couple out there that could. We don't know. The 350 index, which is for full size and side by side. Now, I for sure damn know there's some side by sides that run 350s. That would be interesting to see. Super Pro 449 and faster bracket for full size and side by sides. Pro 450 and slower bracket for full size and side by sides. Full size bracket for full size only, self-explanatory. Side-by-side Outlaw, which is heads up pro tree. That's a pretty much all out side-by-side race. You'll see some really fast side-by-sides in that class that are top eliminator worthy, 295 index worthy. Side-by-side Pro Mod, heads up pro tree, which is just like a step down from those guys. And side-by-side Top Sportsman, which is a bracket for side-by-sides only. Side-by-side Trail, which is heads up pro tree. 4x4 ATV Outlaw, heads up pro tree. These 4x4 ATVs are very, very impressive to watch. They're awesome. They're crazy fast. Some of them are almost dipping into the threes. Whenever that happens, it's going to be awesome to see. Or I think some of them may have already dipped into the threes. 4x4 ATV Pro Mod, heads up pro tree. The difference between Outlaw and Pro Mod is naturally aspirated, and Outlaw is power adders. So, and then you got 4x4 ATV Trail, which is assuming it's just like your stock ones. And then the race is Silverback. That bracket classes are actually going to be added together. So it'll all just be combined, and we will have Dave on next week to clarify exactly what that means. If you're going to look for the classes rules for this race, they are on Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series Facebook page. I assume possibly on the website as well. And as I said, Dave Applegate will actually join us next week to talk about this a little bit more. And July 18th through the 20th at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series season opener. And I know if you're looking to make some cash at a race this year, this is definitely one of them to go to. And Dave's very good about getting the sponsors and getting their money to go towards the racers, getting their prizes that they donate to go back towards the racers. And this is going to be a great race for Dave in the series, and I am very much looking forward to it, as Silverback always does a great show with the racing program. So, yeah, we'll have Dave on next week to go into that a little bit more. And that's Speeders race at Silverback Off-Road Speedway.
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic weekend, and really looking forward to it. Kind of bummed I'm already committed elsewhere. Otherwise, yeah, I would be on site as well. So
wow.
and
Wow.
sometimes that's the way things happen there, sir.
You know what? I think KOI can wait for you, Isaac. I think you can go.
It's
race
not
this.
even that. It's yeah. Sometimes when your sponsor asks you, you don't really have a choice. They ask, but it's implied that you're going to be there. So
John Deere? No.
Sounds like
no.
sounds like the wife is the sponsor in mention here.
Oh.
Actually, no. It's Mr. Adam Cates, my paint guy. So
Okay, car show.
something like that. So
yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
And then not
Atoka.
Not this 4th of July weekend, correct. Next weekend, July 11th and 12th, I will be heading down to Atoka Motorsports Park for their double points race. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to see if I can get in there and stir up the points a little bit. You know, it's a double
There
points
you
race.
go.
See if I can get my name on the board and go on a tear, possibly, you know. Probably not. We'll see. But it's going to be a good time. They got their usual program, nothing, no nationals event or anything like that. We're just gonna go down there. I'm gonna get some coverage and do some racing myself, and probably compete in Pro 2 quads and Pro 3 quads, since my bike is not fast enough for Pro 1 yet. All right, don't give me shit out there. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Exactly. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. They do trophy. Well, we'll get into it more next week, but they do trophy classes first, and then money classes. They run every class twice, basically. Pro 1 cars, Pro 2 cars, Pro 1 quads, Pro 2 quads, Pro 3 quads, and juniors. They run juniors twice, which is really cool as well. And yeah, I'll be down there. Not this 4th of July weekend, but next weekend, July 11th and 12th. But coming up this 4th of July weekend, possibly a race that has the best slogan, possibly of the year so far. I have to find this. Here we go. I got it right here. Bobby Williams loves going to this Leslie County RV Park in Hyden, Kentucky, and I don't even know how to say it. Dirt Drag Saturday, July 5th. Gates open at 4. And this is at Leslie County RV Park, Hyden, Kentucky. And they got, looks like George Washington racing against Benjamin Franklin on some dirt bikes on their flyer, which is pretty awesome. They got $650 to the Open Outlaw. Isaac, what did you say? You said something about their pay. I was confused. I didn't really read it either. I was just I didn't read the flyer until now.
It's $30 entry fee, $650 to the winner. My question was, is it all the money to the winner, or are they paying back like 2 or 3 spots? That was my only question mark there. I don't know if it's winner take all or what the story is there. But
I don't even know what's the entry fee for the Open Outlaw. I don't even see it.
I think it was up towards the top, but let's face it, man. It is the best race flyer slogan I've ever seen. I mean, that's just hands down. It doesn't get any better than that.
You can clearly tell this was made with AI, and that's totally fine, because it says hot food, hand dipped ice cream, concessions, One Nation, under throttle.
I mean,
I love it.
What else do you need to say after that?
I love it.
And I really hope they've got the upgrades they've been mentioning that they've done to this track. We don't need any racers reaching up, grabbing something off the bar as they go by.
Very true. That's 100% true. That's
well, you never know, Damien. Maybe we'll take your Jeep there one day and find out the hard way. But no, yeah, I think that's all the race previews we got for this weekend, for the next couple weekends. I'm sure we'll have more next week as it comes up. But yeah, Isaac, I hope you have a great time at the Weekend of Thunder, Silverback.
I hope so too. I'm looking forward to it. And hey, if you're on site this weekend, stop by.
Yeah.
Hopefully my Friday afternoon goes well, and that's maybe we'll have some big news next week. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully. I hope so. Damien, I hope you have a great time at Franklin County.
Yeah, good luck down there, buddy.
Win some money and then buy me dinner.
Definitely gonna need it with that group of racers.
For sure. It's going to be competitive all at the races this coming weekend. You know, the two big ones this weekend, Weekend of Thunder at Silverback and Franklin County big money race at Brookville, Indiana. And then, then you got the One Nation Under Throttle race at Leslie County RV Park.
There you go.
All right. Take us out, Isaac.
All right, folks. So that is going to wrap up this episode of the Paddle Talk Podcast. Great having you along. Can't forget our sponsors. Scott, Shane, and the guys at Racing in the Dirt, keeping us going. Also, Silverback Off-Road Rentals, along with Silverback Off-Road Speedway, located right in Mears, Michigan. See them. Whether you want to cruise the dunes or watch some really good racing on track, Silverback has got you covered. So, from them, from us, thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in a week.